actually apply my eyeshadow, I'm going to be using tape. It really depends on how far out you want it to extend. You can line it up with your eyebrow. I like to do that a lot, or you can do it, you know, like out here. I'm going to do mine more out here. I feel so silly. Okay. So now the tape is on, and now I'm going to start with the actual eyeshadow. I know I look super silly, but I do this to really help me figure out, you know, where I want to cut the crease and how I want it to look and everything. So yeah, for my transition shade, I'm going to be using this color from my Tartelette 2 in Bloom palette, and I'm going to be using the color Jet Setter. It's this color right here. And I'm going to use this fluffy blending brush to apply it. It's so hard for me to say fluffy blending brush, I don't know why. But yeah, I'm using this brush to apply it. And I'm gonna try to already start to. I want to wing out the cut crease. I want the look to turn out like that. So even when I'm applying my transition shade, I'm gonna start to wing it out in a sense. I'm gonna try to. Sorry, I should probably do this up close. I actually need to fix this piece of tape right here. For my crease shade, I'm going to apply the shade Activist. I'm going to do the same thing that I did when I was applying my transition shade. I'm going to try to do it in that wing shape. So for this, I'm kind of applying it high because I am going to make my crease a little higher to create the illusion that I have more crease space than I really do. So yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to blend it. I'm going to blend it out a little so it doesn't look so harsh with the same brush that I used to apply my transition shade. So I'm going for, see, this versus this. Blended, not blended. Blended, not blended. So if you're completely like unfamiliar with makeup and someone talks about blending eyeshadow, that's what they mean. So now what I'm going to do is, before I start with the concealer to cut the crease, I'm going to get a flat top eyeshadow brush, or eyeliner brush, I think that's what it is. I need to find it first. I'm going to be using this color above Activist. Is that what dark shade that is? Yeah. I'm going to be using the color above Activist. It's called Smoke Show. And I'm going to get that flat top eyeshadow brush. But before I use concealer to cut the crease, I'm going to use that super dark shade right where I'm going to cut the crease. I'm planning on cutting my crease like around over here, and so that's where I'm going to apply. That's where I'm going to apply this. It doesn't matter if it goes lower. You just want to make sure you kind of go like this, bring it up, and you're going to blend it out once again. This time I'm actually going to use the brush that I applied my crease color with, and I'm going to now to cut the crease, I'm going to use this concealer brush by e.l.f. It's a really, you can see that it's pretty skinny, and I'm going to use that to apply the concealer. And I'm doing the same thing that I did in my last video, which was also a cut crease tutorial, and I'm using the lightest shade in my e.l.f. foundation palette as a concealer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start low and then I'm going to work my way up. A lot of people start up and they work their way down, but I like to start over here and work my way up. It gives me time to It gives me time to prepare and slowly work my way up. So I start just right on the lid like that. And first, I start on my regular crease line, but I'm not going to end there. Like, see, if I were to do a regular cut crease, I don't know. I don't think it would look too great. And now I'm going to work my way up like that. I'm going to extend that concealer. So I'm going a little higher. So what you're going to want to do as quickly as possible is set the concealer with your eyeshadow. The eyeshadow I'm going to be using is this one right here, and that shade is Smarty Pants. So, and I'm just using a regular eyeshadow brush by Eco Tools. And again, I'm going lower first and then working my way up. That's my personal preference in eyeshadow. And be careful to constantly check if your eyeshadow brush is caked with concealer, because you don't want it to, the concealer to like mix in with your eyeshadow. So I mean, it's okay if you have a little bit of concealer, but you don't want your eyeshadow brush to be caked with the concealer. So don't press it in, just kind of pat it on there like that. And then constantly just check to make sure. Okay. You can also use a paper towel if you have one and rub your eyeshadow brush on it constantly to get any excess concealer off. That is another trick you can use. Save your precious eyeshadow. And another thing, you want to make sure that you don't get that eyeshadow above your crease that you've made, because that's going to take away that defined look of the cut crease. So try to go right under, but don't get it, even if you gotta like, go right under, but don't get it on it, don't get it over it, because that'll take away from that defined look that we are going for in this tutorial. I will apply some more eyeshadow in a little bit. I just wanted to make sure I go ahead and set that concealer as quickly as possible. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing I did before applying the concealer, and I'm going to go back in with that super dark brown color that I used, the color called Smoke Show. This color right here. I'm going to use that color again to define the crease even more. So I'm going to go right above that crease, where I made that crease, above it, not below it. And I'm going to like that. Now I'm going to go back. I'm going to blend it out by going upwards, not downwards. And now I'm going to use an even lighter color on top of the eyeshadow that I set my concealer with. You could also use the lighter color, to set your concealer if you want. And for that brow bone color, I'm going to use this super light whitish pink shade from my e.l.f. palette. And I'm going to use this blending brush to blend the transition color and my brow bone color together. And I'm going to apply my eyeliner now. I'm actually not going to wing it out yet. I'm just going to apply it on my lash line, and I'm going to wing it out after I put on my false lashes. Okay. I'm going to apply my false lashes off camera, and the false eyelashes I'm going to be using is the Eyelure Dramatic number 22. Okay, so now my false lashes are on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply my L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara. I'm just going to apply a little bit to help my real lashes blend in with the false lashes today. So I just chose to Keep the eyeliner very simple and just whoop, whoop. So the foundation I'm using is my oh so favorite that is definitely running out. It is my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. And I'm going to be using my Morphe M439 buffing brush. I got it a few weeks ago and I use it almost every day. I love this brush. Love it. Okay, so now to highlight, I'm going to use my LA Girl Pro Conceal in Fawn. Okay, I'm going to use my Hard Candy Fast and Fabulous setting spray, and I'm going to spray my sponge with it. And to bake, I'm going to use my Airspun powder. I'm going to use my contour shade from my Black Radiance True Complexion Contour Palette. To contour my nose, I'm going to use my e.l.f. contour brush. And I'm using the same shade that I use to contour everywhere else. Here I'm setting everything with my L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Powder, and I'm also blending my contour out as well. Alright, so I'm going to apply that cream highlight shade on my Cupid's bow, bridge of my nose, and cheekbones, and then I'll spray my face with my setting spray, and then after that, I'll finally put my powder highlight on. What I'm saying might not make that much sense, or it might be confusing, but you'll see what I mean in a minute. Before I set the cream highlighter with a powder highlighter, I'm going to set my face using my setting spray. For my highlight, I'm actually going to use this bronzer by Physicians Formula. It's called a the Happy Booster bronzer. You have like a champagne color out here, and then it has a heart in the middle that's gold. It's really pretty, and I get my brush and I swirl it in. I'm going to apply this nude eyeliner on my waterline. Alright, so now I'm going to use that flat top eyeshadow brush that I used to define my crease. Okay, so I'm going to use that shade Activist that I had in my crease, and I'm going to put that on my lower lash line. I'm just going to go ahead and apply my L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black mascara on my lower lashes. Okay, before applying my liquid lipstick, I'm going to apply my Anastasia Beverly Hills lip primer on my lips. And before I actually apply the liquid lipstick, I'm also going to use my L'Oreal Color Rich lip liner in More Chocolate. And I'm not going to fill in my lips all the way, but I'm just going to outline my lips. Here it is. This is my Kylie Metal Matte Liquid Lipstick in Rain. I'm in love with this. Feel free to request for a tutorial if you guys want one. And here's my final look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please don't forget again to give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe. See you guys next time. Thank you so much. Bye.